what's up, guys? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. I am Trevor Beckman, your host. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and this is the post-game show for the Niners versus the Saints. There's a lot of the same that was going on in the second half as in the first half. The defense was still holding strong for the most part. Was a pretty good game and pretty good effort on the defensive front, I have to say. So nothing bad to say there. Looks like Brandon Allen came in the second half. Dobbs came out. So in the second half, Dobbs didn't even start. It was Brandon Allen. He was in for a couple of series, maybe 2 series, I believe. And then it was over to Tanner Mordecai. I have to say, actually, Brandon Allen was okay. He made some completions. But overall, Mordecai actually looked pretty impressive. I have to say that the 2 quarterbacks that I actually like watching, that are the most entertaining, are actually Josh Dobbs and Tanner Mordecai. They both were out there making some plays. Now, this could be because the wide receivers were getting open, and it just happened to be that those 2 guys, when they were in, were making some completions. But I just didn't get really excited about Brandon Allen's play. Yeah, he got some zip on the ball. He's got a strong arm. He looks pretty, strong out there. He looks pretty good, but not flashy, not really exciting. Tanner Mordecai, I think, went out there and looked fairly exciting in the plays that he was making. He was getting some looks at the wide receivers and moving around pretty well. I thought he made a couple of really good completions. Josh Dobbs just looked really good tonight. I thought he was actually the star of the night as far as players go. He went out there and showed that he really wants that second string quarterback spot. Brock Purdy was rocky, of course, because this was his first game, I think, probably, and that's why. I didn't like how he was kind of throwing erratic. He was trying to make plays happen, but he was only in for 3 series. So Brock Purdy, going to be fine. He's a starting quarterback. We all know he's good again. I don't think there's any reason to panic about that performance. He didn't have any wide receivers that were open. The offensive line was letting him down, and he was running for his life a lot. So, I just say let's temper expectations on that. He's been an awesome quarterback for 2 years. There's no reason to believe that he won't be this year. So I think the backup kind of role goes to Josh Dobbs right now. He looks pretty good, and he's making a 110% effort to try and steal that spot. Brandon Allen just kind of looks okay. He looks serviceable, maybe, but it's hard to say because none of the guys that he's throwing the ball to are starters. So it's hard to say, but I think that the quarterbacks that are actually making the most out of their opportunities right now are Josh Dobbs and Tanner Mordecai. They both look, pretty fun. The only thing I have to say is that there are a couple of receivers that were just not on the right page today. Bell was just not connecting with his receivers. He just doesn't have that connection. I don't know what's going on. In the preseason practices, he was lighting up practice. So I don't get it, guys. I think Bell is going to be a good, serviceable wide receiver for the Niners. But it's hard to say now. Now it's kind of a flip of a coin. Before, I was really excited about Bell and how he was showing up to practice. But now, I don't know. He's kind of like, the shiny finish is kind of rubbing off a little bit. I'm not really super excited about Bell like I was before. So hopefully in the next game he can kind of get back to making some exciting plays on the field during a game and not just in practice. I think he's totally capable of that. But I do think that that's one area, one player that I'm a little bit let down by. I was hoping for more explosive plays from him. The running game was pretty good. We lost a few yards here and there, but overall the running game was pretty good. And I still think that offensive line, I don't know, call me crazy, but it's not great. I'd like to see the offensive line just get better. Of course, the Niners didn't go out in the offseason and really do much to help the offensive line. So there's that. But overall, I would say I'm a little bit concerned for Brock Purdy going into the regular season if the offensive line, and again, the starters really aren't in there. But I'm always just worried about that offensive line and our quarterbacks. I'm getting PTSD from from 2 years ago when we went through 4 quarterbacks and it was just an absolute mess in Philadelphia. So I can't get it out of my head. I want our quarterbacks protected. Some of the best quarterbacks to ever play were protected. Tom Brady was an amazing quarterback. We all know that. But I don't think the Patriots would ever let him not be protected by some of the best linemen, at the time. So I'm not calling Brock Purdy Tom Brady, but you got to get some protection for that quarterback. So he has 5 seconds to look down the field and throw the football. But Brock Purdy is doing okay. So I'm not really worried about it. He is had good regular season performances, right? He's been to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, been to a Super Bowl. Not worried about him. Just a little bit worried about why Brandon Allen's not coming out and looking a little bit better. I think he just kind of looks okay. Like I said, he's just like take it or leave it. He's very, average, I feel like. Josh Dobbs is out there trying to make plays and make the team and be the second string quarterback, and Tanner Mordecai is looking like he wants to be the third string. So, I don't know. Brandon Allen has got to play a little bit better if he wants to be second string. I think in the beginning of training camp, it was his job to lose. And, hey, maybe it still is, but from what I'm seeing and what I'm watching, I think actually he has lost that second position, if you ask me. I think Josh Dobbs is definitely the guy if he keeps playing in preseason games the way he's playing right now. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the post-game analysis. Everything I told you guys in the halftime report is pretty much how the game went for the rest of the second half. I didn't see any highlights or anything that I can really call any players out and say this guy did this or this guy did that. Nobody really made any big plays, and that's okay. We're in preseason. All the starters are chilling because they've been on the team for years. They know what they're doing, and they're just waiting for the regular season to start. I assume we're going to see the starters come in and play a few plays in the last preseason game for a little bit, of course. But overall, not really worried because those guys aren't playing and the Niners know who they got. So this is preseason. No need to really get excited or get worried one way or the other. It's just a way to look at some of the players who are trying to make the team and get a good look at how they play the game of football. Because once the regular season starts, you're not going to see these guys on the field, hopefully. You're not going to see Josh Dobbs on the field. You're not going to see Tanner Mordecai on the field. You're not going to see Brandon Allen on the field. If you do, that means we're in trouble. So, and the offensive linemen aren't really on the field right now. And the defensive side, they're not really on the field. So, anyway, the Niners are going to be awesome. We know they're going to be good. They're a top-tier team vying for a Super Bowl again this year, I feel like, barring any injuries, of course. So, anyway, again, just a good way to look at the players that are coming up in the backup roles or some players that are going to get some game time experience during the regular season, but maybe not starters, just to see who's going to make the team. Anyway, I'm excited about the Niners. I'm excited about football. I've been waiting for months for this to come back around. Every time the season ends, it's just like it's painful waiting for it to come back. I'm glad it's back. Anyway, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, guys. I appreciate all your support and everything you do. And remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. See you next time.